few months after George and I had moved to Wilson. Didn't really know anybody yet, but we were settling in. It was winter time and it was cold. And George, for those of you who don't know, gets up every morning and runs. It doesn't matter how cold it is. And he usually runs right about the time the sun's coming up. And so that particular day, he'd gotten up around 5 and was out for his run. And I got up around 6 and went out to get the paper. And as I did, I saw George coming around with his hood on and his sweatshirt and, running by. And I thought, I'm going to flirt with him a little bit. And so I said, hey there. I said, want to come to my house? Well, he didn't respond. And he kept running towards me, and so I raised my voice and I said it again. Hey there, want to come to my house? And then I realized it wasn't George. I don't know who wanted to disappear more, the guy who was running or me. There are times when we don't want to be seen. Simon Peter, James and John, and other fishermen had been fishing that morning. And they had finished and they had come ashore and they were washing out their nets. When Jesus comes up, and it's really interesting what Jesus does. Did you hear it? Jesus goes and stands in one of their boats, in Simon Peter's boat. I wonder if Peter thought, who is that standing in my boat? But Peter, as Jesus goes and stands in Peter's boat, and evidently they kind of knew, the fishermen I'm sure had heard about Jesus. This was a small fishing town, and you know how small towns are, and I'm sure they heard about Jesus. So no doubt they knew who he was. But they didn't yet know him as Lord, for they call him, Simon calls him Master, which was not a term of Lord. And so they gather, and Jesus says, he sits down in the boat and begins to teach. And then he says to the fishermen, why don't you go out and drop your nets in the deep water? And again, Peter must be a little perplexed and maybe even a little irritated. He's thinking, this is what I do. I'm a fisherman. We've tried that, Jesus. But, Master, if that's what you say do, we'll try it. And so you heard the story. They try it and they pull in nets and nets of fish, so much that the boats are full. Just abundance. Abundance upon abundance. And when Peter sees this abundance, he is overwhelmed. He falls to his knees and he says, get away from me, Jesus, for I am a sinner. In the wake of the abundance, in the wake of seeing who Jesus really is, where he then calls him Lord, divineness that is in Peter, the usefulness that is in Peter. And don't we all, at times, when we realize the power of God and we know God sees our sinfulness, and we think, surely, God, you are not calling me. I'm so broken and I'm so unworthy. And God calls us just as Jesus called Peter. And he calls Peter and he calls each one of us to follow him. And the rest of the Gospels tell us what it looks like to follow Jesus. Because we see in Jesus' life and ministry, what it's all about is that Jesus sees the other. Jesus doesn't go out in the community and preach damnation. He doesn't go out and preach a long list of legal rules that you need to engage in and to do in order to be a disciple. What Jesus does is sees the other person. He sees the woman who's been bleeding for 12 years, and he calls her his daughter. He sees the Samaritan woman at the well who's had 5 husbands, and he sends her forth as one of the first evangelists telling her story of her encounter with Jesus. He sees the woman accused of adultery, and he calls her into new life. He sees Martha, she's busying herself with tasks and kitchen and house, and he calls her to look at the priorities and the values of her life. He sees the thief on the cross, and he invites him into paradise that day. This is who Jesus is, one who sees us, sees you, sees me, and all our brokenness and all our sinfulness, and calls us anyway. We all have what we call dark nights of the soul. I certainly have, and I'm sure I will again. One of the darkest times in my life was I had been a student pastor for 3 years. I was serving 2 little rural churches, and I was going to Duke, and all that was good. Surprisingly to me, I had not destroyed these 2 little churches that had been entrusted to me. They were both doing quite well, so rector, one of the little churches, had grown some. Wesley Chapel. We had 27 pews my first Sunday there. Grown to over 60. And it wasn't something I could take credit for. I wasn't even there 95% of the time. But somehow my ministry and their ministry was a good fit, and the Spirit came into that place and things were happening. But 3 years in, I realized that my marriage of 23 years was finally crumbling. The weight of the stress and all that had been weighing on that marriage for the past 10 years. And so I knew that I was facing a divorce. And I knew that while Jesus didn't spend much time about laws and legalisms, he didn't talk any about whether women should preach. He didn't talk about should women wear makeup and cover their hair like some of the laws in the Old Testament. He didn't say much about anything that we like to occupy our mind with now when it comes to ritual and who's in and who's out. But he did say that divorce was a sin. And so I went to see my district superintendent. For those of you who aren't Methodist, that's just sort of our supervisor. He works with the bishop who places us in churches. And I went to see him and I said, I've got to step away. And I didn't tell not stand to see what we had started at Wesley Chapel in Soretta be brought down by my sinfulness. But I didn't tell him all that. I just said, I've got to step down. The next week after I told him that, we had not told the churches yet, I began to go into a great darkness. I would dream at night about my arm being cut off. And I knew as the week went on that I had made the wrong decision, that I had this call in my life, and I couldn't turn from it, and yet how could I stay in it? And so I went back to my district superintendent, and bless his heart, I remember meeting him at the door, and he said, I hope you came because you changed your mind. And I said, well, maybe. And we sat down and we talked, and I shared with him what was going on with my marriage and my brokenness. And he said, among other things, he was so sweet and supportive, but he said, Tuck, you're not perfect, but you're useful. God sees you. Chuck, God sees you. God sees your brokenness and your sinfulness. But God sees you. And I share that with you this morning because I want you to know so much, so deeply. I want you to know that God sees you. God sees your brokenness and your pain and your struggle, but God sees more than that. God sees the divine spark that lives in each one of us. We're not perfect, but somehow God can use us. So God calls us, Jesus calls us to follow him into the world. And our task in following Jesus is to see the divine in others. It's not to see their brokenness and their sinfulness. It's to see who they are. You know, the Hindu faith has this beautiful phrase, namaste, which means the divine in me bows to the divine in you. God's divine love lives and dwells in each one of us. God sees you. And God